Anybody go against me getting tortured and slain and slaughtered and maimed. We robbing rappers off with they chain. I'm a cannibal eating motherfuckers start with they brain. They say that Pazians are previously thought to be sane. I fought through the pain, established a remarkable reign. Lamada, Pazians, and Marciano all are the same. We could've signed a couple deals, but what they offered was lame. And that's regardless of the fact that we was awkward with fame. And I remember me and Just Allah would spark on the train and talk about how we was gonna leave a mark in the game. We back together and we bringing back the dark to the game. And you know that we put our motherfucking heart in the game.
Yeah, it's like that. You know it's like that. There ain't an army that can strike back.
Hey yo, it's like that. Hey yo, it's like that.
What's the word, world? It's Louis Dogs, Vinnie Paz. Philly is in the fucking building. Y'all know who I'm with. Dumbout.net. Knocking motherfuckers out all day, every day.
Yo, it's Nick Thomas from Dumbout.net. Here with Vinnie Paz from Jedi Mind Tricks. The best hip-hop group, pound for pound, in the world, period.
Hell yeah.
You don't believe that? I don't know what to tell you. Here's what I gotta say. Yo,
I appreciate the kind words.
Explain to the people that don't know the connection with Vinnie Paz and how that came about.
Yeah, well, I don't know, it's kind of a long story. I don't want to bore the fans, but you can edit it later.
All right.
My father took me to Joe Frazier's boxing gym when I was around 4 or 5 years old. This is back in the day where a lot of the young kids might not even remember when boxing was still on fucking free television. ABC Wide World of Sports, Sugar Ray, Marvelous, Marvin Hagler. You know, I saw all these people growing up. My father took me to the gym. I started sparring. I fought 34 amateur fights. Anyway, getting to the question, I'm sorry, brother. I'm long-winded.
Yeah.
You know, my grandfather and, you know, historically Italian fighters, because of me being from Sicily and them coming from over there, my grandfather rooted for Marciano and Graziano and Willie Pett, who a lot of people thought was Spanish, but Willie Pett was actually Italian. And then there was like a little gap of time, really, where there wasn't anyone really holding it down. In the 70s, there was kind of a drought of like Italian fighters. And then Paz came in like 83 and just started mashing niggas. And, you know, my name being Vinny and, of course, him being Vinnie Pazienza, around the neighborhood, we would all watch Paz fight, you know, at my parents' house on Saturdays on Wide World of Sports and whatnot, you know what I mean? Everyone in the neighborhood just started calling me Vinnie Paz, just, you know, just some Dago shit. They just call me Vinnie Paz, because there's so many Vinnies. And so many Vinnies in my family.
Yeah.
One of the Vinnies is named Cuzzy, because he's the cousin. We got 100 Vinnies in the family. Everyone got a different name.
Right.
So I became Paz, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I mean, and he was a hero to me because he broke his neck, man, in a car accident. And they didn't tell him he'd never fight again. They told him he would never walk again. And he came back and won 2 more belts. And that shit, like, it's choking me up right now. It was so baffling to me that someone had the fortitude to be able to do that, that it changed my whole world and how to approach music and how to approach doing something that's not normal. It's not normal to be a fighter. It's not normal to be a musician. It's not normal to run a website, and it's outside the box. When you think outside the box, people say, no, you need to be a lawyer or an attorney or a doctor, and I never thought like that. When I watched him do that, I said, all right, if this dude could do this, I can do this. And then now me and Paz are like the best of friends. throughout the course of it.
I'll never forget that though, man, watching that footage of him hitting the heavy bag with his halo on.
With his halo on.
That was...
And they told him, don't, you know, you shouldn't be doing any extracurricular exercises. And he lied to the doctor and was still, right. He was still popping the bag, you know, with the halo on, man. And that's played a big part in who I am today.
Big time. Yeah, man, I'm Italian too. My family comes from Campobasso.
Indeed, my family's from Agrigento in Sicily, man.
So, you got a new solo joint coming out.
Yes.
What's that all about? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm like, it's called the Assassin's Creed. I'm like 17 songs in. This is the most happy I've ever been in my life, ever, musically, that I've ever been in my entire life. I can't express that anymore. I know everyone's got some boring story of how this is their greatest work and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
This is the greatest I've ever felt. High production by Lord Finesse, Mad Lib, Little Fame from MOP. Shit, I'm forgetting everyone, man, because there's so many great people. Moss, who did shit for Ghostface. I did joints with Paul Wall, did joints with Clips, Beanie Siegel, Freeway. Yeah, Paul Wall, man. You know, I'm trying to expand my shit, but I'm not on no down south shit, man. It's some rugged shit. I brought him to my side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm trying. Fourth Disciple from Wu-Tang did a beat. Bronze Nazareth from Wu-Tang did a beat. So I'm just real excited, man. You know what I mean? I'm excited to watch Cotto get knocked the fuck out by Pacquiao too. I'm pretty excited about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, since you guys talk about a matchup, what's up with Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd, man, coming back?
I mean, I'll give you my quickest assessment of Floyd because I know you guys don't have, you can't give me 2 hours on a website.
Right.
It's, what is it, 2009 right now, right? About to be 2010. Floyd Mayweather has not fought a quality opponent that was his size in 9 years.
Right.
And that was Diego Corrales.
Yeah, I remember that.
So in 8 or 9 years, everyone he's fought or beaten has either been smaller, older, or washed up. And I'm just baffled that people fall into the hype. Yeah, he beat Ricky Hatton. He knocked him out. It looked like Godzilla versus a fucking Matchbox toy. De La Hoya was 400 years old, and I think De La Hoya beat him. I had a 115-113 for De La Hoya. I think Castillo beat Mayweather in the first fight. Shit, I could keep naming people. He fought Gotti way past his prime. Rest in peace, Arturo Gotti, man.
Yeah.
I've seen you fight so many times, Pop, and it means a lot to me that you were the warrior that you were. But, he fought Mayweather for a paycheck, dog. The kid was well past his prime. It was after the trilogy with Mickey Ward.
Right, no.
The dude either fights washed up people or small people.
That shit reminds me, man, that pissed me off that they put Vinnie Paz up against Jones.
Yeah.
When he was way out of his weight class.
Yeah, I mean, Paz turned pro at what, 130, 135? He fought Jones at 168.
It would have been like when he fought Haugen, man. It would have been a different story.
Absolutely. I mean, he destroyed. He ended careers. Dana Rosenblatt, Greg Haugen, all these dudes he was demolishing. Paz fought Roy at 168 for a payday. That's all right.
Right.
But an ass whooping, I don't consider that nothing. This guy is naturally bigger than you. That's my problem with Mayweather. Oh, he's the best. He's the best. He's the best. I'm like, look, man. First they show him on 24/7 with all this. With Roger Mayweather doing all this glove shit. I'm like, what is that?
Right.
It's just like hand trickery. Like you have brittle hands. You've never gone to war with anyone, and why did he come back and fight someone who turned pro at 118?
Right.
Marquez is so much fucking smaller than him naturally. It's ridiculous. Why didn't he come back and fight Why didn't he come back and fight Cotto?
Right.
Why didn't he fight Mosley?
Right.
Mosley just destroyed Margarito. But Mosley just destroyed Margarito. So if you're the best, Mosley's old. Floyd said Mosley's old. If he old, then fight him. But you pick on a small dude all the time. Even if he wins and Pacquiao wins, it's gonna be Mayweather, Pacquiao, and he's gonna be a smaller guy. When are you gonna fight someone who could hurt you?
I'd like to see, after Paul Williams and Havlicek, I mean, he's fighting in 3 different weight classes. There's a guy who will fight anyone.
He is literally, it's like a toss-up between Paul Williams and Manny Pacquiao, who is the modern-day Henry Armstrong.
Right.
These dudes are fighting in like 4 weight classes consistent. Paul Williams is knocking people out at 140, 147, 154, 160. The dude is just a freak of nature. His wingspan is that of a heavyweight. He's got pop in his punches.
Punches is crazy.
Absolutely, man.